Hey there guys, Artistic Nick here, thanks for the click. In today's drawing battle, I'm going to be taking on Res Arts and we're going to be drawing a realistic version of an old man wearing a turban. I found this image over on Pixabay a couple of weeks ago and decided to give this one a go. This is Res Arts' Instagram account, so go check him out. He's a great artist and I really hope you enjoy this video. I decided to do my drawing using graphite pencils only. This is something that I've really been wanting to do for quite a while. I've not done a full detailed portrait of anybody or anything for quite a while in graphite. I've been using a lot of coloured pencils, Copic markers, things like that. So I decided to go back to where it all began a couple of years ago. I started drawing only in graphite. So go and check a few of my older videos out and you can see the progress that I've made, not only in my videos and my editing skills, but also in my skills as an artist. But I'm going to talk you through the process as best as I can. Obviously this is a time lapse, so you're not going to see everything, but I hope that you find this really helpful. So as you can see, I'm starting off by finding the darkest areas in the image and working from there, and I always like to do this. I do know that there are some artists out there that do like to work from the lightest areas into the darkest. I prefer to work dark to light for the simple fact that once I've brought the darkest areas up to a value that I feel is appropriate for the drawing, it makes it easy then for me to balance the lighter areas. If I started with the with the lightest areas, what I tend to find happens is if I start making the lightest areas slightly too dark, I've then got to go and reinforce the darkest areas. What you'll notice as I'm doing this drawing is I'm going through different grades of pencil. So I start out with a 2H pencil, which is a very hard pencil and it's actually quite light. And what I then do is I move through an HB into a 2B, a 4B, and then for the very darkest areas I do go with a 6B. The pencils that I use for all of my graphite work are Caran D'ache grafwood pencils. I've been using these now for well over a year, and in my opinion they're one of the best pencils that you can use if you are looking to try and get a very realistic looking graphite work. So when I do all of my portrait work, I do use the Caran D'ache grafwood pencils. You can find them over on Amazon and online. They're not too expensive, they're working out at about £2 a pencil, and they've lasted me an awful long time. They're actually quite a soft pencil, and I've actually done a review of them, so I'll put a link to that up above now, just a review of the Caran D'ache grafwood pencils. What I like to do with this as well is I do like to use a very soft brush to just push some of the graphite into some of the areas. What you'll notice with the drawings is I don't ever use anything to blend, so I don't use a blending stump, I don't use tissue paper or cotton buds. Now in the past I have tried these, but what I find is if I'm wanting to really get a nice skin texture, what you actually need to do is you actually need to take away some of the graphite and take away some value at times. So I use a kneaded eraser, as you can see there, I'm using a kneaded eraser. And if I do start to use a blending stump or tissues, or like I say the Q-tips or the earbuds, what tends to happen is you start to beat the graphite or the actual lead of the pencil deep down into the tooth of the paper, and this makes it very difficult then to lift any of the graphite out. So what you'll see me doing intermittently during these drawings is I go over with some of the value and then I'm taking out some of the value. A kneaded eraser is sometimes referred to as a putty eraser. Blue tack works quite well also, but like I say, the kneaded erasers are very cheap, inexpensive, and you can find them from most stationery stores. There's a store in the UK called WH Smith's that the actual one that I'm using for this is actually from there. Costs no more than £1.50. What you'll also see me using is a mono zero eraser. So that's the white coloured, looks like a pencil, but it's actually an eraser. It's a very, very fine tip pencil. And what that allows me to do is just bring out some very, very small highlighted areas. And as you see this drawing develop, it's very important that I do get the contrast between the darkest areas and the lightest areas. This is something that I can't stress enough to you if you are looking for realism, whether that's in coloured pencil work or in graphite work. We need a contrast, so the lighter you can make the lightest areas in contrast to the darkest areas, the better. Now I do know that Res Arts actually went for a coloured pencil version of the same image. I've been having a look at his progress. He's been sending me some progress shots and it looks really, really nice. He's got fantastic skin texture on there, so be sure to check out Res Arts' account. I do believe he's going to be uploading a video onto YouTube as well. And just let us know which version you preferred. Did you like the graphite looking version that I've done myself, or are you somebody that preferred the colour image? I really like both of them. I've not actually seen ResArt's final version. It has taken him a little longer than he thought. This drawing took me in total about 19 hours, so it's taken me a couple of weeks because I've been very busy doing other bits and bobs recently. So it's taken me, you know, like I say, a couple of weeks, but in total draw time has been about 19 and a half to 20 hours, somewhere there. It's the first full graphite drawing that I've done for quite a while, full portrait that I've done, and I had forgotten how long it takes me, but I had also forgotten how much I enjoy the process, because once you do start getting into laying the values down and starting to see the dimensions come to life, a little bit like the stage of the video that we're at now, where you can really start to see those eyes coming from the page and bringing the highlights out. It's so satisfying, and it's a really enjoyable process, and it almost puts you into a meditative state, so it's very calming. I sleep wonderfully after I've spent a couple of hours doing this type of work. Like I say, it does take a long time, but I do think that the effort is worthwhile. I hope you guys are enjoying this video, and I hope you consider subscribing to my channel. If you like art videos, tutorials, I'm doing request videos, then don't forget, subscribe, hit the notifications icon. I am doing weekly videos at the moment. I am doing requests, so if there's something you'd like me to cover, maybe it's a new technique, maybe it's a type of portrait or a celebrity portrait you'd like me to do, or don't forget, I am doing colour drawing, so I do lots of Marvel characters. I've done a whole range of anime characters as well, so don't be shy. Let me know what you'd like me to draw for a future video, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, guys. I've really enjoyed making it for you, and also don't forget to check ResArt's out now. We're getting towards the end of this video, so the last sort of picture is a still image of my final version. I've sprayed that with a fixative. That's my finished version. I'm actually still looking for a name for this video, for this picture, so if you've got any great ideas, then send me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to find me on social media. All of my links are in the descriptions below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I've really enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Hit subscribe, smack the notifications button, follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.